Well then, thank you everybody for joining us today. We'll be waiting a few minutes in order to wait everyone to join us, and then we will start with our webinar, Data Lakes in AWS. As you know, we are doing these kind of webinars once a month. Last webinar was about blockchain. Our next webinar will be on May. We are defining if it is going to be about serverless computing or any other subject. So now we are going to start in a few minutes with our current seminar, our current webinar, Data Lakes in AWS. Today, Rodrigo Melo is going to be with us, explaining how we can use data lakes, and well, hopefully this is going to be useful for you. Rodrigo, if you may, I will say that we go ahead and start.
Okay, so we stop the music.
Well, then we will start our webinar. Today we're going to talk about data lakes in AWS. First, I'm going to make a very brief introduction about us, and then I will leave you with Rodrigo. We are Huenei, IT services company based in Argentina, Chile, Mexico, and the States. And we have been in the market for more than 25 years with more than 350 professionals and with more than 100 clients. So for us, it's a pleasure to be here and to be sharing with you some of our knowledge. Some of our clients, as you may see, are McAfee, SoundHound, Mylan, MedLife, Bayer, Walmart, ICBC, Oracle, and recently Fusion Technology, ex-Fusion Technologies. With some of them, we work or have worked in the past with data lakes. So I will say that our team, is building a practice here. So to start, I think that we will be making a poll. Now, if you can dedicate a few minutes to answer this poll, it will be of use for us, and we can share the results with you. You will find there are 2 or 3 questions. First question is, how would you describe your experience in business intelligence? You have 4 possible answers. Then, how would you describe your experience in machine learning? How would you describe your experience with data warehouse? And how would you describe your experience with data lakes? We will give you a few minutes, and afterwards we will use it during the presentation. Well, I say we, but Rodrigo is going to use it during the presentation. So as we wait a little bit for everyone to complete the poll, Rodrigo, I'm going to leave you and allow you to continue. Let me know, Nicolas, if everything is right. Yeah, we have the poll. Okay, Rodrigo, you are muted, sorry.
Sorry, thanks.
No, that's okay. It's okay.
Okay, well, thanks for your introduction. Let me say, my name is Rodrigo Melo. I work in here at Huenei in the research and development section of new technologies. We were working with data lakes in Amazon and also in other clouds. Okay, well, as I can see in the poll, is a new topic for most of you, but it's okay. We will continue. We will start. So what we see today in this new webinar, the idea is to introduce the concept of a data lake. What is a data lake? And also in the middle, will we define what is a warehouse, a data warehouse. Then we will see the key component of a data lake, a comparison against a data warehouse. And to conclude, we will see the analytical portfolio which Amazon Web Service offered to us. Also a specific tool which is called Lake Formation, which is a kind of wizard to help us to produce a data lake in an easy way. And finally, the general data flow with Amazon Suggest is useful in other cloud also. It's okay. So we can start. Okay.
And sorry, Rodrigo, just for everyone to know, at the end of Rodrigo's presentation, we will have a little segment for Q&A. So just take that in your minds. And if you have any question, you can put it down there in the Q&A slot and we will answer it at the end.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Juan Pablo. Well, in a traditional analytical flow, it means before a data lake, it was common to have three operations, which are called ATL: extract, transform, and load. Extract means to get information from different sources. It could be a database, it could be a sensor for an IoT device, it could be a Twitter, some of this kind of thing. Then you have a transformation. Which is transformation? It is to clean the information. It is to optimize the order. You can change the format. It means it is in fact a transformation to the data to order the data. Okay. And finally, you have a load operation, which means to store this information in a structured way inside of a database. Okay, a data warehouse is a special kind of database which is especially useful for analytics in business intelligence. Okay, but in the last years, you probably know there was an explosion about big data, and big data have three big problems, at least for a data warehouse. The three great problems are the volume, the velocity, and the variety of the data. About the volume, you know, a company could have a lot of information related with his business. The velocity in the digital universe, it doubles each year. You have, it is a great exponential growth of information. And the variety, you have you will have structured data from a database, but also you will have a lot of information which is semi-structured or also raw information. You can have images, videos, a tweet, something like that. So with a warehouse, you will have a problem because in a warehouse, you have a database and computer power. You need to deal with this big data, and it is a problem, a problem, because data has an exponential growth, okay? So what is the solution? Well, a better suite solution is a data lake. A data lake is a centralized storage repository which allows you to save all type of data. It could be structured and unstructured raw data, and you will only compute something when you need to use it. So a data lake is a big storage, a cheap storage. The idea is to have all related with your business there. Yep. Some of the key components of a data lake, well, you will have the central storage. I think that the central storage is really very important in a data lake. In a cloud service, you will have unlimited scalability. It means you will put all your document, images, all what you want there. It is a low-cost solution because, again, it is only storage, and you will have different kind of storage. You will have storage prepared to frequently use the document, but also you will have storage useful for to storage or to achieve something. And well, if you need it, you can get maybe not with the best performance, but you will find it. Okay. Also, a central data storage will provide you governance. It means you will have the right for each person involved in your organization to say, okay, you can write, you can only read, you can write there, you can read from this section, you can set this kind of thing. And also a lot of security, you can use cryptography, this kind of solution. Also, you will have a continuous data ingestion. Remember, the ingestion in a data lake, the data could be structured, which means you will have one or more databases with structured data, and you will uh, get the information from there. But also you can have semi-structured. Semi-structured means something like you can have a JSON document and XML document. This kind of information, which is easy to be read by a program, but is not with a defined structure. And also unstructured. It means images, sound, video, a PDF, these kind of documents. Another important key component is the centralized catalog. Uh, it's not useful a big repository with a lot of data without a catalog. A catalog will provide metadata information about how to find the information that you need, okay? So it will implement schemas, indexing. You will have other processes about ATL. You will have some warehouse from there. And it's very important in a data lake. The idea is not to move the data. Why? Because if you move the data, you are processing. And remember, processing is expensive. So the idea is to put the data in a place in the data lake, and then you can change your catalog to point in another direction if needed. Yep. And finally, you need a connection with analytic process, okay? You will connect your data lake to a business intelligence process. Probably there you will have a data lake, a data warehouse, and then your business intelligence solution. But also you can use the information in the data lake to apply machine learning techniques. Uh, Also, you will have multiple engines. It means you will read this information as a simple SQL, as a JSON document. You will use other kind of format which are suitable for this kind of solution, such as Parquet or something like that, okay? Also, you can produce queries in place. It means you have the data there, and you will use a service which is serverless, which will provide you the information through queries. Yep. So you will provide a query. The query will be solved using the centralized catalog, and then you will get the information directly from the data lake. Remember, if you have any doubt, you can use the Q&A form at the bottom of your screen. Yep, and at the end of the presentation, I will answer a lot of most of them, or all if possible. Okay, so remember that we saw in a data warehouse, you have extract, transform, and load. In case of a data lake, it's more common to have extract and directly load. It means you will get information from different sources, and then you will put all your information, all your files and documents in the data lake without an order, without a structure. Then you can use something like an Scrabble, which is a bot which is getting information from your data to form the catalog. When you need, you can transform the information to be used. So if you will have a data warehouse, you need the transform step to provide structured data. But if you are running some machine learning algorithms, you can use directly the data lake without the transform step. So it is a more versatile solution, a data lake against a warehouse, okay? So we talk about the warehouse, and we talk about data lakes. We will see some difference here, okay? Again, a data warehouse is a kind of a structured database. Yep. A data lake is a huge storage space for your information. The data in a warehouse is processed and structured. In a data lake, it could be structured, but also semi-structured and structured and raw, images, video, multimedia. Which is the purpose of the data? In a warehouse, you need to know it must be defined. Okay, you will use a warehouse for a business intelligence solution, and you know what are you wanting to answer. Yeah? So you must be a defined situation. In the case of data lake, the idea is to get all the information there, and what you need could be defined, but also can be defined in the future. The idea is not to lost information, valuable information for your business. Okay, the idea is to have all the related with your business, and when needed, you can get it and process. About the schema, in a data warehouse, you need to define the schema when you need to write. You need to know how to write the information in the warehouse. In case of the data lake, you only put your files there in the storage. And when you want to read the information, you will define which is the schema. Particularly related with the storage, in a data warehouse, you have a solution which is expensive for large data volumes. Okay, but in the case of data lake, it is especially designed for low cost. In case of warehouse, you have a fixed configuration. Again, in a warehouse, you know the purpose, it is defined. So if you need a new solution, you need to redefine. And if you need to redefine, it could be difficult to change the configuration. In the case of the data lake, you put your data in the data lake. Then when you need a new process, you will define your new process, but you don't need to change the data lake. So it is a great advantage. One, which are the commonly the users? In the case of a warehouse, is normal. It's commonly used by business professional to solve business intelligence problem. In the case of data lake, it's commonly used by data science and analyst. Yep. Okay, we are talking about data lake are great, but there are risks. The most important problem that you can have with a data lake is to obtain a data swamp. What it means, you have a lot of information, but you don't know how to deal with. You can use it. It's not useful, so you are paying for a cheap storage, but a lot of storage, and you are not using this information. You need to have, to avoid data swamp, you need to have clear objective. The storage must be simple enough to avoid problem to use the data there. You need management policies to avoid to put in the data lake anything. You need to specify, I want this kind of file or document, not all document around the internet, because it is not useful. You need metadata. The catalog is created using this metadata. So it's a very important point. Well, you need to define the governance and also the life cycle. What is the life cycle? Well, you need to provide information from the document, such as it is useful for 3 years, and then I will archive this information 1 year, and then it could be destroyed because it's not more useful. Okay, you need to define this kind of life cycle in the data. Well, we were talking about what is a data lake, which are the difference with a data warehouse, and now we will see the 3 main components that we already use on some solution. Amazon Web Service has a really big portfolio of solutions related with big data in general. Some of them are related with business intelligence. Others are related with machine learning or deep learning. There are more than 100 of solutions. Here you can see a dozen of them. You will describe 3 of them. Particular, S3, which is the storage. We will see also Amazon Glue, which is a solution to get meta information from your data to create the catalog. We will see also about Athena, which is useful to create SQL queries to find the information to use the data. Finally, we will see a little about the Amazon Lake Formation, which is a new tool. It's a wizard to create easily a data lake. So we will start with the storage. S3 means simple storage service. Is the backbone of any big data related project on Amazon. You can have infinite space. The files or your document are stored as an object there in the bucket of this service. It has a high availability and performance, a durability of almost 100%. It means you don't will lose information there. It will be there. You are in charge of find what you want when you generate a query, but well, you are in charge of that. Of course, it have security management related again with cryptography or control access lists and things like that. And you can define the life cycles. And you have for that six classes. And from left to right at the bottom, you can see S3 standard. And at the right, you can see Glacier. S3 standard is used for you frequently used documents. And the idea in Glacier is to put there what you think. I think that I never will use it, but I don't know. Well, you can put there. If you need it, you can find it, but could be not with the best performance. Okay, it's a relation between cost and performance that you need to deal with. The idea is to control how many how many money are you using with this solution. Well, another important thing or key component of Amazon is Glue. It is a serverless ETL service to prepare and upload data for analysis. It has a different part. The more important could be the crawler, with read your data and generate the schema. And then Amazon Glue Data Catalog would generate tables with metadata to find easily your information. When the catalog is ready, you will use a service such as Athena to make queries for the information. So finally, we will see Athena. Athena is an interactive serverless query service for data in S3 via SQL queries. It is integrated with Amazon Glue data catalog. It could read a lot of standard formats, CSV, JSON, Avro, Parquet, the most important related with big data. The cost is related with the quantity of data which was searched. Okay, so if you said, I want something between this day and this other day, maybe you only scan as in the example 60 megabytes. So you only will pay for this quantity of data, not for your whole data lake. And if you apply some techniques such as partition, compression, or columnar conversion, you can also save a lot of money. Partition means to put things in the data lake with a little order. For example, it is common to use directories per day. So you will put all your information related with one specific day in the same space. Compression, of course, it could be cheaper to scan a small zip file instead of a higher PDF maybe. And well, the column conversion is related with formats such as Parquet, where you can select, maybe you have a document, a CSV with a lot of column, but you are only interested in 3 column. Well, you can create a conversion to only get these 3 column, and the quantity of scanned data is less. Yep. Well, and finally, a highly recommended solution in Amazon is Amazon Lake Formation. There you will have a wizard interface where you can define how will be the ingestion of data and the registration, for example, of devices, or how to access to databases. It is the ingestion part. Then you can define how to deal with the catalog, how to maintain the catalog. You also will define security and access control. And finally, how to check, monitoring and audit the service. Under the hood, you will be using the storage solution, Glue. You can put there machine learning, business intelligence techniques, something like that. Thanks to this solution, you will create a data lake solution in days, not months. And it's very important to know that the service is free. Of course, you will pay. If you are using storage, you will pay the storage. If you are using Glue, you will pay for the shop on Glue. And if you are using Athena, you will be paying each time that you produce a query. But this service, the wizard interface, is a free service. So it's a very important service recently added to Amazon Web Services. Okay, to conclude, the idea here is to show you the big picture. It is commonly shown this image in the Amazon documentation. The idea here was to summarize the main point. So in the ingestion, the first part, you can get data from a database, your own system, from Twitter, for mobile phone. It could be video, images, emails. Well, you will have a lot of data to get structured data, semi-structured data, or unstructured data. Then you will decide how to process this data. It could be processed as a batch. It means you say, okay, I will work with this quantity of data. Or instead, you can use streaming. Streaming means all the time data is coming and is being processing. And this case is very useful if you want real-time analytics. So if you need real-time solution to get decision, you will need a streaming service with real-time analytics. Then the data will be stored in a data lake where it will be processing. You will have a process of enrichment and indexing. It means you will add information to have a more suitable data. It depends, of course, if you will use it in business intelligence or for a machine learning algorithm. So then you can get data from the data lake to be put in a data warehouse to create dashboard or report in the case of business intelligence, or you can build, train, and deploy machine learning solution based on that. So which are the main ideas that we like to provide you? We think that the data lake is an essential component building solutions from the near future. Okay, you will need it in the near future if your business is related with data. If you are using a data warehouse, you can also uh, improve your solution using a data lake. And if you are not using it, you will need use it. You know, the data are similar to gold today. Data are very important. There are big companies trying to get data from our social network, for example. So data is very important in nowadays. Uh, we think that a data lake responds much better to today's reality. You have a large scale data volume, eager user expectation, and a great variety of business intelligence and machine learning analytics and algorithms. And again, you will think about it is not a replacement for an existing data warehouse. It is a complement. So if you have a data warehouse, it's okay. You can provide a data lake solution to have all the information that your business is using, and maybe you can use it in a machine learning algorithm in a few months to provide a really a improved solution for your user. So it could improve really your business with, well, we know is very important for you. So I don't know, we have, yep, yeah,
Yes, Rodrigo, we have some questions.
yep,
So I will go with the first one. The first one
okay.
says, if I already have a data warehouse, where do I start creating a data lake?
Well, if you already have a data warehouse, you must left this data warehouse there at the beginning, and you will create a data lake in a cloud. Amazon is an example, of course, or the cloud provider can give you an space and storage where you can create your data lake. Then you can connect, well, you can also implement what are the data warehouse there, or you can use your data warehouse in the same place that you put it, but you can get information from the data lake, not only from your previous sources, okay? You can, again, complement the two services.
Okay, here we have another question. It says, what does durability of 11 nines mean in S3?
Okay, it is a property which is described in the durability of the S3 services by Amazon. It basically means it's almost impossible to lose information there. Okay, in fact, in the Amazon servers, it is replicated at least in say in 6 servers in the same region. You can improve this. It means basically you will never lose information there. Okay.
Okay, I have another two questions that I think that can go together. The first one, it says, what's the difficulty of going from warehouse to data lakes? And the other one says, how much time do we need to go from a data house, from a data warehouse to a data lake?
Uh, well, the former, I think, how long do I need to go from a data warehouse to a data lake? I am not sure, sure about what is asking really in this case, but
I
yeah.
think that is related with how much time. I mean, if it is a
Okay.
very difficult thing, you know,
Yes,
and the
I
process of
think
doing
that
it.
is related with what is the difficulty of going from
Yeah.
warehouse to the, okay. Well, in fact, are different things. Again, a warehouse is a special database that you will use for business intelligence. A data lake is another thing, it's a storage. So it's the same, in this case, start from scratch or start with a warehouse. The difference will be that when you implement the data lake, you will use also the data lake to provide information to the warehouse. But they are very similar as concept, but very different as implementation. A warehouse is a database which has problems with big data. A data lake is a very big and cheap storage space where you can get the information to be processed. Okay?
Okay. And I would like you to maybe to make another comment related with an idea that you have already mentioned during the webinar. You
Yep.
talked that the idea here is not to be moving data from here to there, ordering that, because moving data is processing, and processing is costly. So
Yep.
I would like if you can tell us a little bit more about how data lakes makes everything a little bit more cost effective in this way.
Well, remember in the case of a warehouse is a database. And when you provide a big data solution with a warehouse, you need a lot of computer power because it's really not easy. Okay.
Mhm.
So you will be paying processing power only to storage information. In the case of a data lake, you are only using the storage. So you are putting a document there and it will be there without computer power. So you can storage a lot, really a lot of information, only paying for a small quantity for storage. And only when you need to process this information, you will pay for process a very small quantity of information because you will have an scheme, you will have some information about how to find only what you need. Of course, you don't will need to check all the information in the data lake. It will take years. The idea is to process small quantities of data, taking advantages of this technology.
Yeah, I think this is key for what we think is one of the advantages of data lakes. Yeah, of course. So
Yep.
thanks, Rodrigo. I don't know
You're
if you
welcome.
have anything else you want to add.
No, maybe to clarify, we were talking about the Amazon solution, but we have experience also with other providers such as Azure or Google Cloud. We know the under the hood technologies, which has we have experience with Apache Airflow, Apache Spark, which is used for big data. So of course, if you have any question in the future regularly with this kind of solution, you can ask.
Yeah, of
We
course,
are
we are
ready
here
to.
and we will
Yep.
be uh, quite glad to talk with you and to be there and see if you have any problem, any idea you want to talk about. We can sit down on it and see what we can came up with. Of course, you can count with us for consulting, architecture, development. I mean, we really want to be there, and we think that this kind of webinars and the kind of knowledge we are developing in our innovation lab, and of course with Rodrigo and all the team, I think that we can really share that with you. So anything you need, you can find it. Now you will be uh, seeing our phone numbers, our email, our different forms of contact. So, and of course, you can find us both in LinkedIn and in the web. So thank you very much for being with us. Thank you, Rodrigo.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
to the whole team of Huenei. So bye-bye and see you next month.
Yep. See you next webinar. See you.
Thank you very much.